All right, Tristan Vukcevic, 7 feet, 220 pounds. In the G League, he averaged 15.9 points, 6 rebounds, shot 48% from the field overall, 42% from three. I repeat, he's 7 feet, 220 pounds. This should be the Lakers' primary target. First and foremost, go get this dude. If I'm not mistaken, he's an unrestricted free agent. He was on a two-way contract that expired this year. The reason why I say the Lakers need to get him is because, one, I live in Northern Virginia. Born and raised in Pomona, California. I'm a diehard Laker fan. Grew up on the Lakers, but I live in Northern Virginia now. He plays for the Washington Wizards. I was hoping the Lakers picked him in the draft a few years ago. They didn't. I watched him play with Washington, and they're hiding this guy. They're hiding him. The number one reason why I want the Lakers to get him is because if the Lakers were to go and get Steven Adams, I don't believe JJ Redick wants to play him. He doesn't want to play him. I'm going to make a whole nother video about how JJ Redick's ideology and philosophy towards basketball is one of the biggest hurdles the Lakers have to overcome next year. Because he is wrong about a lot. Right? But a guy like Steven Adams, JJ Redick does not appreciate his game. JJ Redick does not appreciate Jackson Hayes' game. Right? Is it a coincidence that the game Jackson Hayes doesn't play, Rudy Gobert looks like Wilt Chamberlain? Like a combination of Wilt Chamberlain and Shaq. Is that a coincidence to anybody? So that just tells you that there is value in having a big man on the court. That if you don't have a big man on the court, you risk your team being exploited the way Rudy Gobert exploited the Lakers in Game 5, which was absolutely ridiculous, unacceptable, negligent. I mean, call it what you want, right? Look, I'm trying to stay on topic here, all right? Go get Tristan Vukcevic, okay? The dude is very, he has a great floor game. He plays bigger than what you think a player who shoots 42% from three at 7 foot. He plays bigger than that. You think that this would be a stretch five type guy, right? And oftentimes stretch fives are thin and frail and don't really dominate the paint. I'm not saying he dominates the paint. I'm just saying that he might be the best three-point shooter on our team next year if he comes, right? And on defense, he is no slouch. He takes up space. He has presence in the middle. And that is the type of player that JJ Redick wants to play. You see, I used to be narrow-minded, right? I used to think, just get this player and that player. No, you can't just get this player and that player. Not if the coach don't want to play that type of game. What's the point of having this player and that player if the coach doesn't want to play that type of game? Right? You got, let's say a dude like Charles Oakley, right? Charles Oakley, he might have averaged 8 points and 8 rebounds. Nobody's going to see the value of Charles Oakley, right? Until you sit him in a lame like Rudy Gobert goes for 25 and 25 and 6 block shots. See, what is the value of having a player that could neutralize that? See, that's why I thought that the Clippers would be Denver. Because Nikola Jokic is a product of a generation that does not believe in big men. In the 1980s and 1990s, Nikola Jokic would not be as good as he is now. Period. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. And you're going to agree with me. There were way more Ivica Zubats in the league back then than there are now. Back then, the NBA respected having a player that could neutralize the opposing team's big man. Now, great big men are going to get theirs. Great players are going to get theirs. I'm talking about keeping them in check. And that's what you're seeing when the Clippers play Denver. You're seeing Ivica Zubac, who, in my opinion, is not the type of player JJ Redick wants. When you listen to what JJ Redick says sometimes, it's a level of immaturity and lack of understanding that is almost embarrassing, right? And I keep going back to this. You know, he was in the huddle. He's talking to the players. He says, yeah. And then at the end, he says, yeah, and just keep bombing threes. Who do you think you are, the 2017 Warriors? You're not. So why do you keep speaking like that, right? Now, while I think JJ Redick is totally wrong for having that stupid-ass, lazy-ass logic of just shoot as many threes as possible, right, without a system, which is why the Lakers often have terrible turnovers in a game, is because they're playing without a system, not within a system. So everywhere where a player is supposed to be, wait, time out. There is nowhere where players are supposed to be when you're playing outside of a system. You see what I'm saying? The defense dictates where a player goes and where a player is supposed to be. And then where do you go? There is no system when you're so heavily reliant on three-pointers. I got off topic, but this is a point. So, but JJ Redick is going to be partial to that. He is going to be partial to a three-point shooter. Period. If he'll have 3 guys below 6'5" and below before he has 3 guys 6'9" and up. It depends on who can shoot that 3, man. Look at the coach and look at what the coach was when the coach played. Right? So, the reason why I am so up on keep doing that, on Tristan Vukcevic, 2 reasons. Well, 3. 1, I think he's going to be a great player one day. Huge upside. Young, hasn't been given a shot. Not many people know his name. But huge upside. And he's going to be a great player one day. I should go up there and I bought some cards of his. Because I'm telling you, man, he's sitting and rotting right now. Right? 2, who does JJ want to play? This goes right back to what I said just now. Who does he want to play? He does not want to play traditional center. He does not want to play someone who's going to neutralize Rudy Gobert. Right? I mean, JJ watched the whole half of Rudy Gobert abusing the Lakers. And you would think a reasonable, mature adult would say, Jackson, I was wrong. Please come in. We need you. I was wrong. Nope. Not JJ. Which is why I'm going to make a whole video about how his problem is not experience. His problem is him and his maturity. That's his problem. It's not experience. But you would like to think that he would tell Jackson Hayes, look, man, we just got through playing this first half. Rudy Gobert is a bum, but he looked like Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem and all the other greats ever in the first half. We need you. It's not a coincidence that we sat you and this is what happens to us. No, he ain't do that though. My point is, you have to get a player that JJ Redick wants to play. The Lakers are not abandoning JJ Redick. He's going to be our coach. He's going to be our coach. So get players that he wants to play. This is the other thing. I'm a safety engineer. I got my master's in safety engineering. There's something called the hierarchy of controls. If you have a hazard, you employ the hierarchy of controls to try to control that hazard, right? To try to mitigate the effects of that hazard, right? So, this is a list, right? Then these are the 3 you want to use. You want to use elimination. You want to eliminate the hazard. Substitution. Substitute that hazard for something else that's not as hazardous or may make everything safe. Or engineering controls, which means you put something like a barrier around that hazard, right? The Lakers need to use the substitution control here. Okay? And this is what I mean by the substitution control. Do not assemble a roster that allows JJ Redick to molest the game, to disrespect the game, because he has a dogma, an idealism, a philosophy that counters 70-something years of basketball. If that is who you hired and that is who you chose, then Rob Pelinka assemble a roster that does not allow him to employ that ignorance. That's all you could do. I believe JJ Redick has the potential to be a very good coach. I've seen him. He's practical, he's smart, he's competitive, and he will say it. But sometimes he does not want to coach. He wants to fall back onto his ideology. Right? You see, when you tell your starting center you won't be playing this game, that's not coaching. That is not coaching. When you tell your 5 guys, you guys are playing the whole second half, let me know if you need a break, that's not coaching. Because are you trying to tell me that if you see Rudy Gobert going crazy, just for an example, right? Game 5. You're in Game 5 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's an elimination game. And you see Rudy Gobert going crazy. Just an example. And you just got through sitting your starting center. And this dude is killing you. Coaching would be, hey man, I was wrong. Get up and get in the game and neutralize him. Let's see Game 1 through 4 Rudy Gobert stats. Not Game 5 first half Rudy Gobert stat. That's coaching. You see? I mean, coaching is the X's and O's portion, but it's recognizing what's going on in the game and definitely being humble enough that you could correct what you did incorrectly before. Right? And the fact is that Jackson Hayes falls under an umbrella, a JJ Redick umbrella, that says, I really don't want to play him. Could you get me someone else? That's what Jackson Hayes is. If you go and get Steven Adams, same thing. I really don't want to. Could you get me something else? Right? That's what it is. He doesn't respect the value of what comes from having a big man on the court. What is that value? It's not letting Rudy Gobert look like Wilt Chamberlain. It's not letting Minnesota play terribly and shoot terribly in the first half and be up by 10 because they have 12 more shots, 9 more offensive rebounds, everything that comes with what a big man does. JJ Redick doesn't respect that. And then what's worse is he doesn't respect where the NBA game goes in the playoffs. That's what's worse. You need a big man. You need Steven Adams in the playoffs. Right? You see, JJ Redick, he's one of them analytic dudes. Right? He wants to look at the box score at the end of the game and say, this guy didn't give us enough. You can't look at a box score and determine whether someone gave you enough. Right? What part of the box score did it say that Jackson Hayes helped neutralize Rudy Gobert and stopped him from having a 25-point, 25-rebound night? Which part of the box score tells you that? Does that matter at all? Is that worth a damn at all? You see what I'm saying? So look, JJ Redick has to engineer a roster that coincides with what Rob Pelinka has to engineer a roster that coincides with what JJ Redick wants to do. Right? Don't go getting a bunch of dudes who JJ Redick is going to do his damnedest to say, yo, they can't play. They're unplayable. And then you have all these stupid ass talking heads, Trevor Lane especially, saying, oh man, the Lakers didn't have but 5 or 6 players they could play. Well, we don't know that. Furthermore, isn't the fact that Maxi Kleber played, doesn't that contradict everything you're saying right now? We don't know what we had because JJ Redick didn't respect or trust what he'd instituted. So look, the reason why we should go get Tristan Vukcevic is because, one, I'm telling you, this dude has mad upside. Crazy upside. I'm talking about 20 and 10 type upside. 2, he's the type of player JJ Redick wants to play. This dude is a floor stretcher. He's a 7 feet. He's a rebounder. He's a decent defender. Right? He has a paint presence. And he could shoot his ass off. He could straight shoot his ass off, man. I mean, the dude is kind of awesome. Right? And 3, who do you think you're going to be able to get when you got a roster that has Luka making what Luka makes and LeBron making what LeBron makes? The reason why I said this guy should be our number 1 priority when free agency starts is because he is an unrestricted free agent. Because somebody is watching this dude. And they will come after him. And they're going to get a steal. And the Lakers, with the payroll we got, we have to find the players that are flying under the radar. That's who we got to find. Right? I'm going to make a post about this. We should have 3 projects on our bench right now. We should have a JJ Jackson on our bench, a Tristan Vukcevic on our bench, and a Scottie Pippen Jr. on our bench right now. 13, 14, 15 spots. Projects. Like clockwork, every year. We should have 3 guys that we think could become good to very good all-star level players. I.e., Austin Reeves. Right? We should have 3 guys like that all the time. But Tristan Vukcevic is that guy. He's the guy that JJ wants to play. He's the guy that we could afford. He's the guy that has the upside. He's also the guy that will complement what's going on. You see, I think Austin Reeves needs to be traded. I like Austin Reeves, but I think he needs to be traded. Why? Why did the Clippers get better once Paul George left? One guy handles the ball and shoots. Another guy handles the ball and shoots. Paul George is the 3rd guy that handles the ball and shoots. LeBron handles the ball and shoots. Luka handles the ball and shoots. Austin Reeves handles the ball and shoots. Too much redundancy. Too much. Tell me how often you've seen this. When one guy is getting off, the other 2 guys ain't doing much. Happens all the time with the Lakers. One guy got the ball and it's like it's his time. It's his turn. That's what the offense feels like too much. You need guys that complement the other players you got. Fact is, LeBron ain't going anywhere. I believe they're going to do their damnedest to sign Luka, because the Lakers are in a money-making mode, not a winning mode. So they're going to do their damnedest to sign Luka. And after that, as much as we all love Austin Reeves, as great as his contract is, right, the dude may not fit. I mean, how many of those type of guys can you have? You know, the only saving grace for him is that LeBron, I don't think LeBron wants to do it like he used to do it. And if LeBron looks at the roster and sees, yo, man, this team ain't going nowhere, LeBron plays a different game, man. It's a different type of game he plays. When Luka first got to the Lakers, that LeBron was going off, man. I mean, that dude, it looked like circa 5-10 years ago, the way he was playing, you know? But, yeah, man, Lakers, whoever watches this video, please continue to push the name Tristan Vukcevic. Get that name over to Trevor Lane and Alan Sliwa and the Kamenetsky brothers. Nobody's watching my channel, right? But, you know, if we get word of mouth out there, because I'm all about the Lakers. That's my number 1 thing, man. I'm all about the Lakers. So if we could get the word out there about this guy, and the Lakers could pick him up, I'm telling you, the Lakers are picking up a fringe all-star. A good player next year. A fringe all-star in year 2. That's who they're picking up. You know? Anyway, please like and subscribe. I'm going to keep pushing these videos out. This channel is about giving it to you in a way that I don't think other channels do. Look, I got no fear. You know what I mean? I have no fear. And it's important that someone with no fear is out there saying it. Now, I'm never going to get the number of followers other people got. I'm never going to get the cited you know, as a source for anything. I know this. I'm never going to make any kind of money off of this. I know this, right? Because of the channel that I got, right? And the things that I'm going to say and the things that I do say, you know, I'm never going to get that kind of, look, I do this because it's therapeutic for me. Somebody got to be in this role right here. You know what I mean? Saying what others sugarcoat. And that's what pure uncut is about. It's pure, it's uncut, it's raw, it's unfiltered. You know? Anyway, please like and subscribe. Put the name Tristan Vukcevic out there, y'all. All right.